The night's quiet was shattered by an unexpected knock. A woman peeked out of her window to a young neighbor child, then opened her door. The boy stood at the threshold. "My mom died in the shower." In moments of dilemma, when a sudden rap stirs against the door past sundown, most people would never do it. This Arizona family's story illustrates how a split-second decision to answer, steered by a careful peek and a moment of intuition, could make all the difference. Jessica Penoyer had no idea what to expect when she opened her door one evening in April 2017. Standing on her stoop was her 5-year-old neighbor, Salvatore, alone and without an adult. That in itself was unusual, but what really caught her attention was that the little boy was holding something, or someone in his arms. "He's standing there, and he's holding something, and I thought it was a doll," Penoyer later recalled to Arizona's ABC 15. But as Penoyer drew nearer, he realized it wasn't a doll at all. It was Salvatore's 2-month-old sister, carefully wrapped in a blanket and cradled in the arms of her big brother, who had carried her clear across the yard to the neighbor's house. At that moment, Penoyer's mind began to race. Why were these two little children outside by themselves after dark? She asked Salvatore what happened, and for a second, she thought he said that his dog died. But the reality was much more pressing. Salvatore explained that his visit had nothing to do with a pet. The only other person at home with the children that evening had been their mother, Caitlin. For Caitlin and her young family, the night had started out like any other, a little chaotic, as one might expect with a toddler and a newborn. After putting her children to bed, Caitlin decided to take a long, hot shower. Not long after, however, Salvatore was jolted awake by a loud thud. Concerned, he went to check on his mom and found her unconscious in the bathtub. What the little boy did next was nothing short of remarkable. With a calm determination, Salvatore retrieved his baby sister, carefully wrapped her in a blanket, and placed her safely in the living room. He then went to the garage. Salvatore dragged a stool into place and climbed up on it so that he could reach for the remote control to open the door. He slipped once, finding himself in a pile of shoes. He got up and then tried again, this time opening the door. With the escape route clear, Salvatore went back inside to retrieve his sister. He carried her out of the residence and then walked over to Penoyer's door and knocked on it. When she inquired as to what the problem was, he answered, "My mom died in the shower. Can you take care of us?" Penoyer realized this was indeed an emergency and called immediately for help, and professionals arrived in no time for assistance. "My neighbor came to my house and said that his mom was dead in the shower," Penoyer recounted, still in disbelief over the young boy's bravery and composure. Meanwhile, Penoyer entered the Zicalisi's home and found Caitlin lying unconscious in the bathtub, the water still running. Thankfully, when paramedics arrived, they found that Caitlin hadn't tragically passed away. Instead, she had suffered a seizure, her second since giving birth to Sal's baby sister. Caitlin later recalled that her last memory of that night was getting in the shower. The next thing she knew, she was waking up in the hospital the next day. It didn't take long before Caitlin realized just how brave and resourceful her young son had been. "Honestly, he saved my life because I was under the faucet, and if he wouldn't have gotten help, I don't know, I would have drowned," she told ABC 15. Sal's bravery didn't stop at saving his mother's life. He was also thoughtful enough to protect his baby sister from trauma. Caitlin explained that her son brought his sister to their neighbor's house so she wouldn't have to witness their mother in such a dire state. Although Caitlin survived, the incident left its mark on Sal. Despite his mother's reassurances, the young boy continues to worry about her well-being. "Every day is a challenge for us," Caitlin shared. "He asks me probably 1,000,000,000 times if I'm going to be okay. He'll tell me, 'Are you going to have another seizure?' 'No, I'm okay.' 'Are you going to die today?' 'No, I'm not going to die today.'" Despite these lingering fears, Sal's heroism didn't go unnoticed. When the local firefighting squad learned of his incredible actions, they decided to honor him. Sal was named an honorary firefighter and received a certificate, a shirt, a helmet, and a patch. "Rural Metro Fire Department wants to make you an honorary firefighter," he said. "So you get to join the ranks of all these guys that came to help your mom." Sal blushed at his award and beamed in pride. Gilliland celebrated Sal's heroics but also said that it is crucial to make children plan for emergency situations. "Talk to your kids about it," he said. "What do you need to do? How do you dial 911? And what are the proper uses of 911? As for the Zycalises, they acknowledged that they had never discussed emergency procedures with Sal before. They're just grateful, though, that their son's instincts kicked in when it counted, probably saving Caitlin's life. So if you liked the story, please give this video a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone you think might find it inspirational. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.